October 2nd, 2019, a third-grade classroom in Chestnut Hill, Pennsylvania. During free draw time, 8-year-old Liam Price picks up a red crayon. He doesn't draw superheroes or dinosaurs, he draws a map. One crooked road, a tree line, a bridge, and a small red X circled twice. His teacher, Miss Carla Dorsey, asks him, "What's the map of?" Liam just shrugs and says, "That's where she is." At first, everyone thinks it's a story, until 2 weeks later, that red X, it turns out to be real. November 14th, 2019. A group of high schoolers report a strange smell under Harrow Bridge, 2.3 miles from Liam's map. Police arrive within the hour, and there, beneath the brush, they find a body, female, mid-30s, wrapped in a tarp, tied with rope, decomposed beyond recognition. Detective Angela Marks files the initial report. No wallet, no phone, no identifying jewelry. Only item recovered was a child's friendship bracelet on her left wrist. The GPS coordinates? They exactly match the X on Liam's map. Down to the bend in the road, the shape of the tree line, and the bridge angle. It's not close, it's exact. Investigators contact Liam's parents, and honestly they're stunned. There's no connection to the victim, no link to the bridge, and no missing persons in the family. Liam undergoes a child psychologist evaluation. The report summary reads, "The child claims he saw the location in a dream, repeatedly. He described a woman calling for help and said he felt cold and scared during sleep." But here's the detail that really stuns police. In Liam's drawing, right next to the red X, there's a tree, with 3 slashes carved into its bark. Police revisit the crime scene and, well, they find the tree. 3 vertical slashes, still fresh, still raw. Detective Marks addresses the press saying, "We don't know how the child knew this location, it's too specific to be coincidence." The woman is identified 6 days later through dental records. Her name, Samantha Holloway, age 34. She'd been missing for 4 months, reported by her sister in July. Last seen leaving a diner just 20 miles from Chestnut Hill. Security footage from that night shows Samantha speaking with an unknown man outside the diner. He wore a black hoodie. No license plate is visible. The camera loses him in the darkness. The case went cold until Liam's map surfaced. Forensics determined Samantha was strangled. There was bruising around her neck and traces of polyethylene on the rope. That matches common packing material. No fingerprints, no DNA, just one strange clue. A scrap of newspaper in the tarp, wrapping her body. From June of 1987, about a missing girl named Melody Watkins. Unrelated case, unsolved, police find it deeply unsettling. Liam later tells his psychologist, "There's another one, not far from the first X. She's waiting." He draws another map. This time, a pond, an old shed, and a dark figure standing near the water. Police investigate. They find the location, but no body. Only a doll's shoe buried in the dirt, and a locket. Inside, a faded picture of Melody Watkins, the girl from the 1987 article. At this point, the FBI is called in. They question Liam, but, there are no changes in his story. He draws what he sees, and what he sees keeps getting closer to the truth. Investigators build a profile. Samantha's killer likely knew about the 1987 case, probably used it to taunt police. But how Liam could know details never released to the public? Well, that remains unexplained. The child psychologist, Dr. Irene Lowe, offers one possible theory. Children sometimes absorb information subconsciously, through overheard conversations, news segments, or, other environmental input. But even she admits, this case just defies normal developmental explanation. Samantha's killer has never been found. The second site remains classified, and Liam? He stopped drawing in January. When asked why, he said, "She stopped talking." Some call it a coincidence, some call it a gift. But to this day, one fact remains. A child drew a map and led police to a body no one was looking for. This is Vanished Whispers True Crime. Subscribe for more real cases, where the facts speak louder than fiction. Witness statement, November 15th, 2019. Interview with Mark Jensen, local fisherman. Transcript. I was under Harrow Bridge that morning, checking my lines. I saw a blue sedan parked by the tree line. A man in a black hoodie was pacing, talking on a phone. He kept looking at the bridge, then drove off fast. I didn't see his face, but he left tire tracks in the mud. Police transcript excerpt from Detective Marks's interview with Liam. Detective: Liam, how did you know about the red X? Liam: she showed me in my dream. She said, find me. Detective: did you know her? Liam shakes head. No, but she was scared. As the detective presses for more, Liam's voice trembles. The room is silent except for the hum of the recorder. The mystery deepens, not just with evidence, but with an unexplainable connection between a frightened victim and a boy who'd never met her. Unsettling Evidence Forensics Report, November 16th. A second friendship bracelet, identical to the victim's, was found buried near the tree marked with 3 slashes. DNA analysis proved inconclusive, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. Police noted that the bracelet appeared handmade, with the initials quote, M.W. quote, carefully stitched inside. This discovery added another layer to the mystery, suggesting the presence of someone else, someone connected, yet still unknown. December 2019. An anonymous letter arrives at the Chestnut Hill Police Department. The message inside is chilling. You found one, there are more, the map is not finished. No fingerprints, no clues to who sent it. The envelope is postmarked from a nearby town, but that's as far as the trail goes. In response, police increase patrols in the area, hoping to catch a break. But days turn into weeks, and no suspects emerge. The mystery deepens, and the sense of unease grows. Whoever sent the letter is still out there, and whatever secrets the map holds, they remain hidden for now. January 2020. The case remains unsolved. Liam's family quietly moves away, leaving behind a house filled with memories and unanswered questions. Late at night, Detective Marks sits alone in her office, surrounded by boxes of evidence. She studies the map one more time, and then she sees it, a third X faintly drawn near the riverbank. Her heart races. The file is marked active. The story ends here, but the mystery lingers. Did the killer send the letter? Was there another victim waiting to be found? No one knows. The case remains open, and the town still whispers about the map that led to a chilling discovery. Subtitle: It was around midnight when I heard the knock. A distorted, anonymous voice crackles through the audio, shrouded in static. Subtitle: I looked through the window. There was a figure standing at the edge of my yard, just out of reach of the porch light. The screen flickers with blurred, shadowy reenactment footage. A solitary figure, their face obscured, standing motionless by the trees. Subtitle: They didn't move, didn't say a word, just stared at the house. I was too scared to open the door. The camera slowly zooms in on the witness's trembling hands clutching the phone. Subtitle: I thought it was a prank, but then I saw something glinting in their hand. It looked like a piece of paper. A flash of lightning illuminates the figure, revealing a crumpled map in their grasp. Subtitle: The next morning I found footprints by the riverbank, right where the third X is on that map. The voice wavers, thick with dread. Subtitle: I called the police, but when they came, the footprints were gone. Was it real, or just my imagination? A chilling silence descends as the screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a final haunting question. Subtitle: I still wake up at night thinking about that visitor, wondering if they'll ever come back. The music swells, building suspense before abruptly cutting off. Subtitle: Police transcript, March 23, 2023, time 14 to 35 inches. The screen displays a faceless reenactment of 2 police officers, their faces obscured by shadows. Subtitle: Officer 1, can you describe the events of that night again? Subtitle: Witness 1, I've already told you everything. The figure was just standing there, holding the map, I swear it. Subtitle: Officer 2, we have another witness who claims there was no one there. Can you explain that? Subtitle: Witness 1, I don't know what to tell you, I saw what I saw. The camera shifts to a close-up of the police transcript, highlighting key phrases. Subtitle: Witness 2, I was in the house the whole time, there was no one outside, I checked the yard myself. Subtitle: Officer 1. So you're saying Witness 1 is lying? Subtitle: Witness 2. I'm saying maybe they imagined it, or maybe they're hiding something. The screen cuts to a dimly lit room, a map spread out on a table. Subtitle: Officer 2, what about the map? How do you explain that? Subtitle: Witness 1, I don't know, maybe someone planted it there to mess with me, I just know what I saw. Subtitle: Officer 1, we need to get to the bottom of this, someone isn't telling the truth. A heartbeat sound effect underscores the tension, growing louder. Subtitle: Officer 2, we need more evidence, until then everyone's a suspect. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a sense of unresolved tension. Subtitle: Who can you trust when the truth is buried in lies? The eerie music swells, then cuts off abruptly, heightening the suspense. Subtitle: April 2nd, 2023, Evidence Room, time 09:12. The screen shows gloved hands carefully opening a sealed evidence bag. Inside, a small antique key, tarnished and cold, found near the site of the original map discovery. The camera lingers on its intricate, unfamiliar engravings. Subtitle: Forensics report, no fingerprints, age undetermined, symbol does not match any known database. A close-up reveals the symbol, an odd, looping shape, almost like an eye carved into the metal. The screen flickers briefly as if the footage itself is disturbed. Subtitle: Investigator 1, voice distorted. This wasn't here before, who put it at the scene? A static-laced audio clip plays. Faint, disjointed whispers, barely audible, recorded by the evidence room security camera the night before. Subtitle: Audio log. Leave it here, they must not find out. The screen cuts to black and white security footage. A blurry, shadowy figure moves through the evidence room at midnight. The figure pauses, places the key on the table, and vanishes just as the camera glitches. Subtitle: Investigator 2. Is this a warning or a message? The low drone of music intensifies as the camera zooms in on the key, the symbol catching the dim light. Subtitle: No one recognizes the symbol, no one saw who left the key. The investigation takes a darker turn. Heartbeat sound returns, faster now. Subtitle: Whatever this key unlocks is still out there. The screen fades to black, lingering on the final chilling note. Subtitle: Some secrets are meant to stay buried. The music abruptly cuts out, leaving only silence. Subtitle: April 3rd, 2023. Interview room, time 18 to 47 inches. A single chair sits in the middle of a dimly lit room. The camera angle is low, focusing only on the trembling hands of a person clasped together, knuckles white. The voice is shaky, thick with emotion. Subtitle: Confessor, voice breaking. I never meant for any of this to happen. I thought I could fix it before it got out of hand. The screen flashes images of the overlooked character, an assistant archivist, always in the background, cataloging evidence, never drawing attention. Subtitle: For years I watched. The maps, the clues, the secrets. None of it made sense until I found the key. I was scared, but I couldn't stay silent anymore. Close up on the confessor's face, partially obscured by shadows. Tears glint in their eyes. Subtitle: I left the key because I wanted you to find it. I wanted someone to know the truth. I couldn't live with it, the guilt, the lies. I was there the night it happened. I saw everything. The music swells, underscoring the gravity of the moment. Subtitle: Their confession unravels a web of deceit. The missing evidence, the misleading reports, the anonymous tips, all orchestrated out of fear and regret. Cut to silent reactions from investigators, shock and disbelief written across their faces. Subtitle: I tried to protect them, but every choice I made just made things worse. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. The camera lingers on the confessor's shaking hands, then slowly pans to the key on the table, its symbol now filled with a new, devastating meaning. Subtitle: This single confession changes everything, casting old evidence in a new light, and leaving everyone to question what else remains hidden in the shadows. The music fades to a heavy silence, broken only by the confessor's quiet sobs. The confession ripples through the investigation like a stone cast into still water. In the days that follow, the once bustling police station is quieter, conversations softer, glances longer, each person wrestling with the truth now laid bare. Detectives gather around the evidence board, pins and strings that once seemed so tangled, now illuminated with painful clarity. Some faces show relief, a weight finally lifted. Others only look more troubled, as if the answers have raised even harder questions. In the community, the news spreads quickly. Candlelight vigils appear at the old tree where neighbors stand shoulder to shoulder, some in mourning, some in silent anger. For the family of the victim, the confession brings a bittersweet closure. There are tears and embraces, but also the hollow ache of years lost to uncertainty. At the local school, teachers quietly remove old maps from classroom walls, their hands trembling. Children whisper in hallways, piecing together fragments of overheard stories, sensing the shift even if they don't understand it fully. The assistant archivist's confession is broadcast on the evening news, their shadowed face a symbol of guilt and regret. Strangers leave flowers on the archivist's front step, some forgive, others cannot. Yet, even as truths are revealed, not all mysteries are solved. Investigators huddle over new files, the confession sparking fresh leads and reopening old wounds. Some evidence still doesn't fit. some questions still echo in the silence, questions that may never be answered. In the end, the confession is both a conclusion and a beginning. For some, it is enough to move forward. For others, the shadows linger, and the search for understanding continues. The camera pans over the quiet town at dusk, windows glowing softly against the darkness. Every light a testament to lives forever changed by what was finally brought into the open. As weeks turn into months, the town finds its own way to heal. The old tree is no longer just a crime scene, it becomes a place of remembrance, where children play once more, and neighbors plant flowers in circles around its roots. The victim's family gathers each year on the anniversary, lighting candles and sharing stories that keep their loved one's memory alive, choosing not to be defined by tragedy, but by love. Detectives return to quieter cases, their faces marked by the shadows of what they have seen, but also by the quiet strength that comes from facing the truth. Some retire early, seeking solace in the arms of family. Others mentor new recruits, passing on hard-earned wisdom about perseverance and empathy. At the school, new maps hang on the walls, maps drawn with care, symbols of resilience and hope. Teachers guide their students through lessons not just of geography but of compassion, courage, and the importance of speaking up, even when voices tremble. The assistant archivist, now a figure of both sorrow and caution, volunteers quietly at the local library, sorting books and listening to children read aloud. Their story becomes a lesson in accountability, in the heavy price of secrets, and in the long, uncertain road to forgiveness. For the town, scars remain, etched into memory, whispered about in quiet moments, but they do not define the future. With each sunrise there is a little more light. With each act of kindness, a little more hope. And so, life moves forward. The echoes of the past blend with the promise of tomorrow. The story, once shrouded in mystery and pain, becomes a reminder that even in the darkest chapters there is a way through, that healing is possible even if it comes slowly, and that the courage to seek the truth can illuminate the path for others. In the end, the map drawn by a child led not only to answers but to a deeper understanding of loss, of forgiveness, and of the enduring strength found in coming together. As the screen fades to black, one final message lingers. Sometimes the greatest journeys begin with a single uncertain step into the unknown, and sometimes the greatest healing comes from facing what we most fear together. Just as the town begins to settle into its new rhythm, a late-night knock at the police station changes everything. A weathered envelope, unsigned and postmarked from out of state, is slid under the door. Inside are photographs, grainy, time-stamped from the night of the crime, showing a figure at the tree. But the person in the images is neither the confessed culprit nor anyone previously suspected. The angles and shadows suggest a careful observer, someone who knew exactly where the cameras were, someone who has never appeared in any official report. Alongside the photos is a single, chilling line typed on an old typewriter. "You only found what I wanted you to find." Detectives gather in stunned silence, the weight of uncertainty pressing down like a storm. The victim's family is notified, their sense of closure shattered. The town, once on the brink of healing, is thrust back into the throes of doubt and fear. Rumors begin to swirl. Was the confession a cover-up? Did someone manipulate the investigation from the very beginning? The assistant archivist, whose every action had been scrutinized, is seen staring at the library's locked archives, haunted by a new wave of suspicion. As the evidence is analyzed, experts argue over its authenticity, and the community braces for more revelations. The old wounds ache anew. The story is no longer about what was lost, but about what remains hidden and who among them still holds the key to the truth. In the darkness before dawn, the town realizes the mystery is far from over. The real journey, and the search for answers, has just begun. Inside the dimly lit library, the assistant archivist sits alone, the mysterious envelope spread out before them. Their hands tremble as they examine the photographs for the 100th time. With every glance, memories resurface, moments of overlooked details, suppressed doubts, and a growing sense that their own actions, or inactions, may have shaped the course of the investigation. A key sits heavy in their palm, the one that unlocks the restricted archives. For weeks, they've guarded it, honoring old promises and protocols, but now, with the town in turmoil and the truth slipping further from reach, the archivist faces a choice no one else can make: protect the secrets entrusted to them, or break the rules for the sake of justice. Conflicted, they recall a conversation with the victim's family, their pleas for closure echoing through the silent stacks. Is loyalty to the past more important than honesty in the present? Could unveiling what lies hidden in the archives finally bring peace, or only more pain? As dawn's first light creeps through the window, the archivist stands at the threshold of the locked room. One turn of the key could change everything, but at what cost? The audience is left to wonder, what would you do if you held the key to the truth? Would you open the door or keep it closed forever? The lines between right and wrong blur, and the story deepens, not just into the mystery, but into the hearts of those who must live with its consequences. As the sun rises, casting golden rays across the dust-laden shelves, the archivist's hand finally moves. The key slides into the lock with a hesitant click, then a decisive turn. The heavy door creaks open, revealing rows of forgotten files and sealed boxes, each one a silent witness to years of secrets and sorrows. Inside, the archivist finds not just answers but a tapestry of stories, lives intertwined by chance, tragedy, and the relentless search for truth. Among the records, they discover the missing piece, a faded letter written in the victim's own hand, describing a meeting that should have never happened. The letter at last brings clarity. It reveals the truth behind the midnight visitor, the tangled motives and the misunderstood actions that led to tragedy. The detectives, once divided, now see the full picture. Old suspicions dissolve, and hidden alliances are brought into the light. News of the discovery spreads, but this time it brings not fear but relief. The town gathers, united by understanding and the hope of healing old wounds. The victim's family reads the letter aloud at a candlelit vigil, their voices steady, their hearts finally at peace. Tears fall, but they are tears of release, of forgiveness, and of letting go. The investigators close their files, knowing the truth has been found, and justice, in its own way, has been served. The archivist, once burdened by indecision, stands quietly among them, feeling the weight lift from their shoulders. They know they have changed the course of many lives, and in doing so, found their own sense of purpose. The archive, once a place of shadows, now stands open, a symbol of truth brought to light. The questions that once haunted the town are finally answered, and the mysteries that remain are no longer feared. The midnight visitor's identity, once shrouded in secrecy, is revealed, a misunderstood friend, seeking to right a wrong. The echoes in the hallways fade, replaced by the quiet hum of hope and new beginnings. The envelope, once a symbol of unanswered questions, now holds the story of a community's resilience. Its secrets have been shared, its burden lifted. In the end, the story is not just about uncovering the past, but about the courage to face it, together. The pain of loss is met with the strength of community, and the hope that comes from forgiveness and unity. As the screen fades to black, the audience is left not with lingering doubts, but with a sense of peace and reflection. Every mystery, once faced, becomes a mirror, showing us our own capacity for truth, compassion, and change. And so, as the final door opens, we step forward, together, into the light of understanding, hope, and new beginnings.